Alright, continuing the video that I started to shoot like 3 weeks ago. Bosworth Field. And you can see all the trees that they planted that were teeny tiny things when they first built this back in the early 90s are all fully grown now. So it provides some good shade, at least at the back end of the seating area. And you can see the list itself. Here comes a car. It's the morning, we haven't opened yet. Alright, I'm going to head up and film a little bit more from another location. Okay, I'm standing in the area around the Crying Tower, and I'm panning around all the shops that haven't opened yet. Over there on the right, coming into the shot, is the Crying Tower. And I'm going to zoom real quickly to go around. And you remember Notches of Nottingham? Well, for several years now, its name was changed to Cafe Cortez. Isn't it so quaint and Elizabethan? And let's see, over that way, that's the bread bowl soup place. That's unchanged. And there's Privy Lane going up to the Privies, and that's Amber Joe's shop. And I'm going to walk a little bit, so prepare yourself for a bobbing camera. Okay, this is all a picnic area now that used to be wide open. You can see the tables and the stones and all that. There's the Forge, that is unchanged. Alright. And because of the picnic area that we just walked through, the big open area that used to be down by the Forge is somewhat cut off than it used to be because, and here comes a turn, so prepare yourself. That used to be the hurdy-gurdy stage. And now it is the new Little Rose stage, and you can see that it's all gardened and everything on the one side. You really have to kind of clamber over things to go through there. It's really not open to a lot of foot traffic, although people do go back and forth, just not as many as used to. Alright, now this is where the path used to run when you used to be able to go from Guildsman's Way and it run alongside of the Boar's Head Inn. And you can see now it's all garden. I showed you the other side before, and this side is now all picnic tables. And I'm standing at the bottom of Guildsman's Way, and this is a new shop here that went up about 3 years ago. And that's Guildsman's Way. Remember the shop we used to call the mall store? I'm going to move now, so the camera's going to wobble. That is still there. The mall store is still there. All these shops are all basically the same up here. And there's the Crossroads up there. The hat store is still up there. All the way up at the top is the glass blower shop. Guildsman's Way is largely unchanged. There is one other change. I'm going to go up to the Crossroads. Alright, standing at the Crossroads, that used to be what you guys knew as the Game Master's Daughter, where Joan sold all her wooden games and everything. Remember the balcony that used to hang out over the Crossroads? Alright, that for a number of years now it's a big stone shop now. They sell leather masks and puppets and things like that there. And that's a really big change on Guildsman's Way. There's a glass blower shop at the top of Guildsman's Way, and looking down all the familiar places that I'm sure you remember, including a vehicle coming up the road. I'm moving out of the way. Now, do you guys remember the pirate ship that got built back up behind the globe Let me move a little closer. Sorry about that. There you go. There's the pirate ship. I'll give you another shot angle of that. I'm walking up to where the Swashbuckler pub is now. There's the other side of the pirate ship. And out in front of now the big Swashbuckler pub area. I'm going to head inside over there. I'll shut the camera off though. This is the pub area that's back behind the pirate ship. This is, you probably don't remember any of this. I don't even know if this was built yet when you moved. And I'm going to come about with the camera, so cover your eyes, it's going to be a big spin. This is the eating and performance area back behind the Swashbuckler, the Swashbuckler stage. I'll shut the camera off and move closer. Okay, this is back behind the Swashbuckler. There's a pour station over there. And I'm in the way of that car again that's being driven by Adam. He's determined to run me over. That was the car earlier that I had to move out of the way of. I didn't know it was Adam and Andy. There's the Swashbuckler stage. And behind it is the great stone wall, what they call the walled city. I'll give you shots of the outside of that. I'll video that at some point. That goes all the way around. And this is a new eating area that went in a couple of years ago called Sir William's. I'm going to step back, the camera's going to bobble a little. This is all back behind the pub. And I'll show you the great castle walls in another shot of what's on the other side of all this. Okay, now all of this is all the area that has gone in on the hill up behind the Globe Theater. There's the pub where we just were, back over there where that truck is. And these are all shops now, like I said, that are up on the hill, back up behind the Globe. Where used to be the fence, remember the fence that used to sit right up at the top of the hill behind the Globe? Well, they pushed that back and built the great stone walled city. And this went in at the top of the hill, all this stuff. I'm going to move a little bit, so the camera's going to shake.
You still have a half hour. Which I almost forgot about. It's just like, yeah, I'm going through my notes, the feed library, and I'm like, oh shit,
there you go, all down there. It goes all those shops go all the way down to the chessboard. I'm going to head in that direction a little bit. Okay, yonder is the Globe stage. All new trees. They weren't there when you guys were, as you guys remember, they were probably little tiny things. There's the Globe down there. Everyone's getting in for their company meeting in the morning. I'm going to swing the camera around now, so watch your eyes. And that's looking up the hill that's behind the Globe, where nothing used to be except a fence. It's all shops down there now. That's the way to the chessboard. I'm going to head over there. That's a closer video of the Globe and the seating area. I'm going to go out in front of the Globe right now to Shakespeare Square. Okay, I'm standing on Shakespeare Square. There's the back of the familiar globe that you remember. And I think the fountain and all was here. You'll remember that. That's looking down towards the crossroads coming into the shot. That used to be the Old World Inn. Now it's the New World Inn. They tore down that old wooden building a few years ago and put in that big castle looking thing, manor, whatever. And now I'm going to swing around and show you the two big changes for this year. Here we go. All right, that used to be the road that led over the Misting Bridge, which no longer exists. And that all that fenced-in area is a new picnic area. And back there is the turkey leg shop. And yes, the Kissing Bridge no longer exists because that picnic area is all in there right now. That whole picnic area with the building facing us right there. That's a pour station for adult beverages, and the turkey leg shop is still all right in there. So yeah, the two bridges are gone. This is the picnic area out in front of Bacchus. That's unchanged. That's pretty much the same. Back behind there, though, used to be the turret that sold sodas and stuff. That's gone. That's a big garden now. I'll walk over there and then head down to the chessboard. There you go. The beverage turret is gone. It's a garden now that used to sit out in front of the turkey leg shop. There we go. Now, this is the most famous location on the Shire. Yes, that is my stage for Popcorn Theater. I don't have my sign up yet today. I came out to do the video, but the big tree that used to be like right in here, that fell down in a storm a couple years ago, so I no longer am shady on sunny days. But those tiny little stumpy bushes that used to be out in front, those things right there, they're now all full grown. So I can't push the, one person in front of each bush anymore because it looks like just one big bush. So I put chalk X's on the ground there. But that's where I've been doing the show for 10 years now. This is the road that leads out in front of it. And this shop has been up for a few years. You guys might not remember it. It used to be a wide open area, but this shop's been here for quite a few years now. And I'm swinging around. That building right there used to be the Greek food store. It's now a German food store. And that building right there is the Rusty Scupper. It used to be a burger and ice cream place. Now it's beer and burgers. Coming around. The red and white tent is where it always was, right there. Truck unloading. And that's the road to head up to Avalon Hill, which is all the area that was up. It's up behind the chessboard. It's all built up now and wraps around towards the end game stage. I'll head over there later. Right now, I gotta go to company meeting. Bye. There we go. I just put my sign up for today's show at the stage, which you can see. Wait, there we go. Back up. All right. Move it a little bit this way. There's my sign. That is the highlight of this video. All right, Popcorn Theater right here. All right. Let's see if I got enough time left to video up on Avalon Hill. This is going up Avalon Hill. That is a shop that went up about 2 years ago. It's called Mad Tom's Rec Room. You buy stuff. I will walk up. Mind your eyes. Wobble, 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 wobble. Wobble, 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 wobble. You buy things, glass items, and then you throw it at that target to break them. You buy it, you break it. Wacky, huh? There's the red and white tent. It's Oktoberfest weekend, so they're setting up for German food and stuff like that. And coming into the shot is the chessboard. There it is. And all the seating area back up behind it. I'm going to change positions. Hold on. Alright, that's a shop going up Avalon Hill. That's the area all up back behind the chessboard. I'll get a little closer in a few minutes. And there's the chessboard seating coming into the shop. And mind your eyes, I'm walking. And there's the chessboard. Oh, rehearsing. That is Tom Zadoyko and Tom Leitner, otherwise known as Buckle and Swash. Tommy Z, you may remember when we used to come just as visitors, and we were watching finale at the Boar's Head, and it was the last day of Faire, and Tommy Z was the guy that was holding the newspaper this one day, and the Queen asked him what he was doing, and he said, "Looking for a job, Your Majesty." I don't know if you remember that or not. And Tom Leitner is the guy that used to do you might remember him from the fight at the Boar's Head, the brawl, where every time he would come out on the overhead part of the stage and hold out a different object and say, "Is this a bunny I see before me, or a sword I see before me, or a candy bar I see before me," whatever it was. That's Tom Leitner. Alright, I'm now at the top of Avalon Hill, up back behind the chessboard. These are all the shops up there. That is the dungeon coming into the shot. It's not free though, it costs £2 to go in there. Don Juan and Miguel own that. And coming around, you'll see other shops. Right now, most of them are tent shops, but they've got to become permanent structures soon. You're not allowed to have a tent business, I think, for more than like 3 years. And then if you want to stay here, you've got to build a permanent shop. So these will all become regular buildings. I'll go down that road in a few minutes. I'm going to swing around quickly. This is the new pub and stage area at the top of Avalon Hill. I'm going to walk, so the camera's going to bobble. Hold on. And over there, that is the new trial and dunk area. Yeah, doesn't look like too much. It misses the wall. It cries for a wall around the dunk pit and everything, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Alright, I'm going to head down that road that I pointed out to you a second ago. Okay, and up here on Avalon Hill is where Wrinkles the elephant lives now. That's where they have the elephant ride. It's all back in there. Wrinkles is currently not present. It's still about an hour till we open. And this is the Avalon Hill roadway. All the tent shops up here. And this leads directly into the end game stage. I'm going to change locations now. Alright, still on Avalon Hill, and down there, that's where the chessboard is. You can see that there. That's where the Queen sits. And behind that is the red and white tent. Now, all that area is pretty much like it was, except for a new paint job and that kind of stuff. And the rest of the Avalon Hill shops. I'm going to walk a little bit, so mind your eyes. I'll try and keep it steady. And up ahead there, you can see is the end game stage. That's the end game stage right up there. I'll be there in a minute. Oh, this is a new attraction here over by the end game, where you bomb each other with water balloons. It is called Brody's Bombardment, something like that. It's good on a hot day. Today, not so good. Although there will probably be a few daring souls in there. Right now it's only about 45 degrees, and it is supposed to rain like hell this afternoon. My grandchildren did not just hear me say that. And here we are at the end game stage. It is largely unchanged. These new trees that they planted here are starting to really grow. And there is now a sound and light booth here because all the stages are all now electrified. And I'm going to head over from here to Privy Lane. Okay, here we are on Privy Lane, named for the Privies. Lots of shops on Privy Lane. I'm going to shut off and move closer to them. And there we go. There's some of the shops. That's the pirate shop right there. And next to that is Isle of Man, which used to be the only shop on Privy Lane back in the day. And I don't know what that shop is. They do stuff in water troughs. They dig for gold, I think. I'm going to move further down Privy Lane. And there is the front of the Rusty Scupper. That stage there is where I do my